Today's webinar title is Building Customer Loyalty. And the description here is I just kind of want to talk about the customers. I feel like a lot of times we get bogged down with all the little buttons, knobs, and levers that are required in order to run our business and to keep everything ticking and keep our boat afloat, so to speak. And we forget many times that it's the customers that is the most important thing. So if hopefully we can get you some new information here, and at the very least maybe just kind of remind you to focus on those customers, because that's exactly the best way to grow your business and the most important thing. So the audience technical level here is easy. We're just going to talk about some philosophy stuff, maybe get into little details as well. The goal here is to give you guys some advanced training involving your use of the Paladin system to make your stores even more successful, and hopefully some philosophy and some practices that go well with Paladin system. Mike is going to be responsible for recording this webinar and also answering questions, as I mentioned earlier. So Mike, if you haven't already, please go ahead and start that webinar recording. If you miss some of this presentation, let's say you have to leave halfway through, business is business, you can find it at paladinpointofsale.com/webinars. And that will go ahead and get you there. You can download it from there. All right, let's go ahead and begin, guys. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about here is kind of our agenda, what we're going over today. Why is customer loyalty important? Why do we care? We have the doors open and the shelves are stocked. Why do we care about the customer loyalty? What is the cost of acquiring a new versus an existing customer? So many times we're focused on getting new customers, getting more customers into the store, more interaction. Which one is the best? So I want to talk about that a little bit. And then just some steps that we can take to create loyal customers. We want to reinforce the front lines for customer retention, having your people trained up and having a good attitude and a good presence in the store is pivotally important. I want to talk a little bit about the benefits of a loyalty rewards program. I'm sure we have a bunch of people here who are using loyalty rewards programs. You know, some rich rewards, ACE rewards, repeat rewards. We've kind of got a smattering out there, and that's awesome. And then I want to talk about simplifying the process by leveraging technology. We now have an extremely high level of data that we can collect on a transaction-by-transaction basis, and how are we using this data to help build customer loyalty? So why is customer loyalty important? Well, it's all about attracting the right customer. We want to get them to buy. We want to get them to buy more often. We want to get them to buy in higher quantities. And then bring even in more customers. We want them to tell their friends about the positive experience they had in your store. Now, we don't focus on getting customers to buy more often and buy more. Those are simply the benefits of proper customer loyalty processes. It's the processes and the way we run our business and treat our customers that will get them to come in and buy more in larger quantities. So we need to keep in touch with our customers using things like email marketing, thank you cards, treating your team well so they treat your customers well. You'll see this excellent boss versus leader little picture that I put up here, and I just like this so much. I think we've all probably been involved with businesses where we've experienced the top section where the boss is just kind of pointing and we're going there. And my question there is, how can we expect our employees to adhere to a standard that we ourselves don't keep? The way you treat your employees is going to be directly how they treat their customers. So very important that we show the proper level of respect, not only to our customers, but also to employees, as that attitude will trickle right down into that frontline customer interaction there. We need to show that they care. We remember what they like and what they don't like. Using their history, the sales history is an excellent tool for that. We want to reward them for choosing you over your competitors. What are you doing different than the other guy to incentivize them to come into your store? And at the end of the day, you build it by truly caring, by truly giving a darn about them and figuring out how to make them more successful. So, you know, no business or very few businesses ever failed when their point was to satisfy their customer, was to make the customer happy. I think that customer-facing businesses are some of the most successful ones out there. So happy, loyal customers are going to want your business to succeed. They're going to tell their friends about it. They're going to return more often. They're going to be excited to come into your store. The cost of acquiring a new customer versus a existing customer is about 5 to 7 times as much as maintaining that profitable relationship with the existing customer. So, some companies will acquire a new customer at a small profit, but that's usually the exception rather than the rule. It's far more likely that you're going to spend 5, 10, sometimes $100 acquiring new customers. Now, these figures at that point start moving into the discussion in the direction of lifetime value. Why? Because it'll take many years of sales and more marketing investment dollars before a profit is returned. We get the return on our investment from that customer that comes on board at a cost. So should we work to acquire new customers? Of course. We always want fresh people coming in our store. However, leveraging the customers that you already have is a far more cost-effective way to grow your business. Do your current customers know all the things that you can do for them? Are they even aware that you can write special orders for them? Freeing up, and that kind of goes back to Paladin's philosophy, and everything is automation to your lives. Taking you away from the back office, turning knobs and dials and fiddling with things, so that way you can go out and get to know your customers. You can go out and focus on leveraging the customers that you already have to be more valuable in your store. So some of the steps to creating loyalty with your customers. First one is one of the most important, and that's the customer service. This is reinforcing the front lines, your people. We already talked about treating them with respect, so they in turn show that to your customers and treat them in respect. I was reading this just earlier today, actually. I was reading this article by Time Trade, and it said that 85% of customers who come in and buy and do not get the right salesperson with the right knowledge and expertise will go elsewhere. 85%. That's huge. That's so many people. Do your people know the products? It's very nice when you walk into a store and you have a project and the other person can talk intelligently about that project. They can make recommendations one way or the other. 51% of the Time Trade survey respondents indicated that if a knowledgeable salesperson associate helps them out, they're extremely likely to buy. So not only are we going to be making them happy, increasing their experience in your store, we're also going to increase the likelihood that they're going to buy and buy more often. And there's not going to be that buyer's remorse because they don't feel pressured into anything. They made a relationship. They had a real connection with someone in that store who genuinely helped them out, and they left a happy customer with their needs fulfilled. Clean and organized environment. This is very important just kind of for our overall well-being. I know when I walk into a room and it's messy, it's just not really a room I want to be in. Same with your store. If your store is messy and the hammer's in the wrench bin and the wrenches are all scattered out over the place, it's chaos to me. I feel like you don't care. And if you don't care, why should I care? The inventory that you offer to your customers is so valuable, and this goes back to a little bit of Paladin's philosophy of not having a year's supply of that inventory just sitting there. No, invest a little bit less. Just get what you need so you can free up some space. You can free up investment dollars to invest in other items so you can expand the breadth that you offer to your customers. This is going to increase their loyalty by knowing that when they have a project that they need to fulfill, you will be able to accomplish not only 80% of it, but 100% of the items that you need. So certainly being able to know your market, know who your customers are and what they're buying, and offer items that are going to accomplish their needs. Let them know that you can make their purchase history available. Most people have zero idea that you can very quickly give them their purchase history, and that's valuable information to the customer, and that's also very valuable information to you as well. Nothing incentivizes really a customer to return like a customer rewards program. I have a Freddy's little Fred Meyer reward card. It's on my keychain, in fact. And I will go a little bit out of my way, not too far maybe. If their customer service was a little bit better, I probably would go a little bit farther. But I will go out of my way to make sure that I get my shopping done there because I know I'm accumulating points. And next time I go and fill up gas at their station, I'm going to get 10, 20, 30 cents off a gallon. That certainly incentivizes me to go into their store and buy. Implement the customer nurturing campaign. I used to work at a mattress store, and after every sale, it was part of our process that we would write our customers a thank you card, a handwritten thank you card, sign it. Usually I try to put a little something about our interaction in there, hope your kid does well at the soccer game this Friday, whatever. And many times later, I would be out on the town or whatever doing shopping or something, and I would come up to someone, and they would be like, "Hey, Chad Klein, I love my mattress." And I'd be like, "Wow, that is incredible that you remember my name." And they would tell me they didn't really remember my name. It was because my thank you card is on their refrigerator, and they've seen it. Every time they go and eat cereal in the morning and get out their cream cheese and put it on their bagel, they see my name. And now I also included a business card in there, and many times I'd have people come in and ask for me specifically because of the recommendation from their friend or colleague that said, "Hey, go and visit Chad." Um, that is a company that knows how to nurture their customers. Thanking them for their business, even just for coming into the store, making sure that your customers know that their business is important to you, and you understand that they are the lifeblood of your company. They're the reason that you can unlock those doors every morning. Customer surveys or comment cards. This is an excellent way to get feedback from your customers on what you could improve. Maybe you have a particular employee who you're not aware of, but maybe doesn't have a great attitude in the store, is not representing your overall culture well. Well, that's a good way of finding it out. Also, not only is it important to or valuable to find out what the customers would like to see different in your store, I think there's an ancillary benefit of the customers now feel more special because they, just by seeing those, even though they don't fill it out, they know that their opinion, their ideas are important to you, and you value that. That in and of itself is value right there. And the last one here, it's a little bit difficult to do to start a social media buzz. I certainly wouldn't recommend this doing it heavily, but I certainly do like if you go into a store, you have a special experience, maybe they've got their kids with them, take a picture of them. Ask them if it's all right if you can post it and say, hey, Jamie had a great time in our store today, really helped her out with the whole sprinkler system or whatever we were looking at. Really helped me fill my prescription, what have you. Social media buzz is a great way to interact and just kind of a great way to touch bases and kind of become a little bit more intimate with your customers. So some of the benefits of a loyalty rewards program, very important. I think this is a big thing that can separate you from your competition. Just that little bit is going to incentivize that customer to come to you as opposed to going to your competition. So a customer loyalty program is everything from, you are a loyal customer, so you get a specific discount off of a specific department. That would be a very custom rewards program right there. Also things like points accumulation on their account. Once they reach the point thresholds, they get a discount or a coupon on their account, things like that. So it's going to help them feel connected in a sense of belonging. They're a part of the team. They're part of the club. And they feel that when they go into the store, when they scan that little card, and whoop, their name and information pops up. They know who you are. You know who they are. Very nice there. It's going to improve their customer shopping experience. They know that they get that special loyalty program price or whatever sort of discount that you're offering them to incentivize them to come into your store. We're going to add a little bit of convenience because now we have their information. So we can do historical lookups. We can do custom promotions. What are they buying? And can we send them a promotion to specifically address their needs? How special would it be if one of the stores that you frequent all the time realizes that you're an avid gardener, or you really like vitamin C as a supplement, and says, hey, we've noticed you really like this, so for just you, just for this weekend, we're going to have a custom discounted department or a custom sale. That's going to really incentivize that customer to come in and fulfill their needs and accomplish their goal. You might even create the need. They might even be coming into your store an additional time that they might not have ever come in. I know when I get my little Dutch Bros stamp thing, my coffee, when I go into the little coffee hut and I get that guy filled out, that time that I go in and get my free coffee is many a times, and I laugh at myself because I know it's happening as it's happening, but I still do it. I will go out of my way, sometimes when I don't even really need, out of my normal coffee routine, to get that free coffee. So really, they're just incentivizing me to come back to their store. They're creating an additional experience, and I'm coming back into their store. Many times I have a friend with me who is now going to buy also a beverage, and I get my free one. So they've just upselled and made a new experience out of something that I wouldn't have come in that time in the first place. So very cool there. They're much more likely to reciprocate. If you scratch my back, I'm going to scratch yours. That's just kind of the way it is. If I'm getting a good experience in your store, I'm much more likely to tell, or if I'm getting a good experience, I'm much more likely to tell people about that. Unfortunately, however, people are more likely to tell others about negative experience. In fact, they're 10 times more likely to tell someone about a negative experience in your store than a positive one, which is unfortunate, but also so vitally important that we reinforce those front lines and make sure that we're doing everything possible to build their loyalty and get them to have a positive experience in their store so we can keep our reputation up. They're going to come back, return more, spend more often. And I think one of the main advantages here that is often overlooked is it justifies getting their information. You know, if we don't know who our enemy is, we can't go into the field of battle. Maybe that's a poor analogy, as I don't want to compare our customers to our enemy. But the point being, if we don't know what they're buying, we can't, and we don't know who they are, we can't market to those people specifically. So use the customer rewards program as a way to justify getting their information. So when you run your reports and you figure out who are my top 20%ers, my top profit customers, you know exactly who they are, what they're buying. You can make specific marketing campaigns just to address their needs. Now, given a choice, customers will always take the instant reward over a mail-in manufacturer rebate. I don't think anyone really appreciates having to go through all of the rigors of mailing in a rebate. It's just so frustrating when you go into a place and you encounter the mail-in rebate. Do an instant savings. It's much more hassle-free for you. You're not making extra bank trips. You're not buying all these little envelopes and the postage and paying for those things to go out. A customer is not going to have to wait for 6 to 10 weeks before they get their discount. You don't have to sign the extra rebate trip, no extra trips to the bank. So, and I think also that I know when I go in, I think there's an added negative to a mail-in rebate in that when I go in, I know that you're doing a mail-in rebate, or I know that most people don't follow through and actually mail in their rebates. And I assume that the business knows this as well, which is probably why they did the mail-in rebate in the first place. So I almost feel as if you're trying to gimmick your way into my loyalty by doing a mail-in rebate. You know, how much better would it be if I could walk out of your store with my savings right then? It's less work for you and better for the customers. Instant savings is a win-win for everybody. I'm super on board, and I think I'm probably preaching to the choir on this one, as no one really enjoys having to go through the rigors of doing the mail-in rebate process. So we want to automate this customer nurturing process. We have technology. It's collecting data. Let's use this data. There are reports in Paladin, the customer profit ranking and the customer sales ranking are two reports in Paladin that can help you identify who your 20%ers are. Now remember the 80-20 rule. 20% of your customers bring you 80% of your revenue. Do you know who the 20% of your customers who are bringing in the 80% of your revenue are? Do you know what they're buying? And what are you doing to make them love you? If there's anything you can walk away from this presentation, it would be that right there. What are you doing to make your 20%ers love you and promote you and come back and buy more often? We want to implement a customer nurturing drip campaign, just like I was talking about with the thank you cards or any sort of marketing, things like that. Also with the rewards programs, you know, like I mentioned, I've got my keychain right in my drawer over here, and on it I've got my little Freddy's rewards card. I see that every time I get in my car, I get in my house, every time I use my keys. That brand awareness, putting your name in front of their faces, is going to do more for you than pretty much anything else. Just when they have a project, they're going to think of you first. Pivotally important to get that brand awareness out there. Stay in the front mind of your customers. However, on that note, it's important that we don't over-market to our customers. An excellent example, maybe a little bit extreme, but an excellent example of over-marketing or something that we're just way overexposed to is banner ads. Those ads that we completely disregard around websites, those things have a 0.1% click-through rate, meaning 0.1% of people who go into that website actually click on the banner ad. And I would guess that at least half of that 0.1% of people who actually click on it accidentally. It's almost gotten to a point where we're so exposed to that form of marketing, we don't even see it anymore. We're blind to it. So make sure that we're not over marketing to your people. You don't want to send them a promotion. I think even once a week is a little bit too much. Certainly that would be the most that I would recommend, but maybe once a month, something like that, just to remind them, hey, we're thinking about you, we value you as a customer, and this is what we're doing to incentivize you to come back. You can sign up for web-based automated marketing. There's a bunch of them: Constant Contacts, Infusionsoft, AMS. I personally use Infusionsoft. It's very nice for marketing campaigns. You can send out thousands of emails all at the same time. It's very nice when I call up customers sometimes, or potential clients that I'm working with, or maybe I haven't talked to them in months. And when I call up and introduce myself, I'll say, this is Chad from Paladin. You know what does not happen? They don't go, who? They say, oh, Paladin, hey. Because we do a good job of staying in the front minds of our customers with marketing campaigns, with emails that go out to them just to remind them, hey, we value as customers, and we want to let you know that. So we got loyalty programs. They come in all different shapes and sizes. You can get them from your credit card processors. You can get internet web-based solutions. You can get point-of-sale solutions. We have a couple integrated with Paladin as well. I think we mentioned a few of those earlier. I would very much recommend using a system that offers a sign-up bonus, something that incentivizes them right now today, that we can do that. You sign up, we're going to go ahead and take 10% off your entire ticket today, sir. And then now you have their information, you know what they're buying. We've started the path. Knowing who our customers are is the doorway into loyalty, is into customer loyalty. So super important that we get on the loyalty programs. Use a sign-up bonus. Give them incentivized right then. We want to manage the points and process them with point of sale. I don't even know how you would, well, I guess probably some sort of punch card system, but it would be very, very difficult in my mind to manage a loyalty rewards program without having a point of sale. Well, we do have a point of sale. We do have this technology that is collecting this data. So let's make sure that we use it. We know who our customers are. We know what they're buying. We are talking about instant versus mail-in rebates. Again, super important just to give them that instant rebate. Very nice to have a customer leave your store saying, look at what I saved today, as opposed to look to what I spent today. Allow linking rewards members with special offers. Incentivize those customers. Say, hey, the fact that you allowed us to get your information, to know who you are, to know what you're buying, is important to us. And as such, we would like to offer you a special offer that's custom to you. We don't have to make it too custom, but a little bit of custom is very nice for people. They feel a little bit more connected and part of the team, and you're caring about them specifically. So all of this data is there so we can take customer info and turn it into customer intimacy. We can develop relationships with our customers. Extremely important. All right, guys. Well, let's see. Do we have any questions and answers? This question answer sesh here. Does anyone have any questions, Mike?
Hey, Chad. Yeah, actually we do. Janet Powell had a question, and it had to do with the reports. You talked about the customer profit ranking, but she missed the second report that you mentioned after that one.
It's right next to it. You'll find them both in the same spot, and it's called customer sales ranking, I do believe. There's a profit ranking and a sales ranking. One is the most profit. The other one is just the gross total that they're spending. So one takes the margin that you're actually making on the customer, whereas the other one just looks at the total amount that the customer is spending in your store. And that report, I will be happy to write. I don't remember the exact pathway to those reports, but if we want to take Janet's information down, I'll send her an email that says, hey, click here, click there, and here's your report.
Sure. Let me know, Janet, if that's something that you want. Just go ahead and type another message if that's something that you're interested in. And then we can field that question if need be. Okay, yeah.
Excellent. And any other questions?
She would like that. No, Perfect. That should do it. At least, yeah, that should be good.
All right, guys. Well, the smooth voice that you're hearing coming and answering the questions, that's Mike Horn today. Thank you, Mike. He's going to be giving a presentation next Tuesday or Thursday, one of those two, I do believe.
I think it's Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday? Okay, we're going to be doing the next one on Tuesday. And Mike, you want to talk for a second about what you're going to be talking on, just so the people know what to expect?
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's the kind of the top 5 best practices in Paladin. Using Paladin day to day on a day-to-day basis, just best practices. Customer loyalty, which is what we talked about today. We touch on that a little bit. Obviously, won't go into too much depth on it, but a little bit. Some of it will be repeated, but it's the top 5 best practices using Paladin point of sale. So it's pretty cool.
Excellent. Well, we'll be looking forward to that, everyone, and thanks so much again. Again, if you want a recording here, you can go to paladinpointofsale.com/webinars. There's going to be a survey at the end of this here that kind of asks, we very much value you guys' opinion. We want to, we just started these webinars, so we very much like your guys' opinion so we can redirect these and make sure that you guys are seeing what you want to be seeing. So please go ahead and fill that survey if you got a couple minutes. Thank you so much for coming, guys, and everyone have a great day. We'll see you next Tuesday.